point right now, so if you would mind unsharing your screen so we can all see each other. Good evening, everyone. My name is Jenny Way. I am the National Register Architectural Historian for the State Historic Preservation Office. To get us started this evening, I'd like to say that this public meeting is being held virtually under Minnesota State Statute 13D.021, and this meeting is being recorded. We ask that board members please turn on your cameras if possible during roll call so that public participants can see you as well as hear you. Kristen, I don't have any other general announcements, so take it away.
Okay, thanks, Ginny. Good evening and welcome to this meeting of the Minnesota State Historic Preservation Review Board for the National Register of Historic Places. My name is Kristen Anderson. I'm currently chair of the board. The board's purpose is to consider the nomination of properties to the National Register of Historic Places. As most of you know, the National Register is a federal list of those places deemed worthy of preservation. A nomination form has been completed for the property on tonight's agenda. The nomination form has been sent to the review board members, and each member has had an opportunity to study it prior to this meeting. The owners of the nominated property, local officials, and interested local groups have been notified of this meeting. All have been invited to send written comments about the nomination and to attend the meeting. State Review Board discussions and decisions typically follow an opportunity for brief comments from the public on the nomination. That said, we do our work using federal regulations that lay out the procedures for nominations, including requirements related to Heritage Preservation Commission and certified local government support, which this nomination did not receive. Because of the National Park Service requirements, we are unable to consider the scheduled nomination this evening. Further, we're unable to take public comments when there is no nomination under review. I now invite Ginny Way, representing our Deputy State Historic Preservation Officer, Amy Spong, to provide additional information. Ginny?
Thank you, Kristen. At this time, we have confirmed that in response to the Henry Hill Memorial Library Hamlin Branch nomination, both the Heritage Preservation Commission and the chief local elected official, the mayor, recommend that the property not be nominated to the National Register. This correspondence was published last Friday on the State Review Board meeting page of the State Historic Preservation Office website. It is available to the public. The National Historic Preservation Act states that, quote, if both the commission and the chief local elected official recommend that a property not be nominated to the National Register, the State Historic Preservation Officer shall take no further action, end quote. Due to this regulation, the SHPO cannot present the nomination for board consideration this evening. The Act further states that parties may appeal to the keeper. Parties interested in pursuing an appeal should contact the keeper's office directly. Please note that there are time limits for each step in the appeal process. If an appeal is filed and successful, the State Historic Preservation Office will call a special meeting of the State Historic Preservation Review Board to consider the nomination, following the processes described in the Code of Federal Regulations. If scheduled, the special meeting will be announced on the State Review Board's meeting website. Thank you, Kristen.
Yeah, thanks, Jenny, very much. All right, we move on to our next agenda item, which is the attendance roll call. And I'll ask that board members indicate their presence in the meeting and also introduce themselves, noting the position that they occupy on the board, as well as their area of expertise. And in a nod to alphabetical order, I will begin. I'm Kristen Anderson. I'm one of the two architectural historians on the board, and I teach art history and architectural history at Augsburg University. And I'm just going to check quickly to see if Pam is here. Looks like she's not. And John Decker is next. John Decker, will you introduce yourself, please?
John Decker, formerly with the Stearns History Museum. I'm an at-large member.
Thank you. Lindsay?
Hi, good evening. Lindsay Dyer, member at large and librarian, archivist, public history. Thank you.
Thanks. Elliot?
Hi, I'm Elliot James. I'm one of the historians on the board. I'm an assistant professor of history at the University of Minnesota Morris.
Thank you. Philip?
I'm Philip Koski. I serve in the role of historical architect, and I am a practicing architect in Minneapolis.
Thank you. Andrea?
I'm Andrea Lavasser, and I am the prehistoric archaeologist on the board, and I am retired from the Chippewa National Forest, where I was the forest archaeologist and heritage program manager.
Thank you very much. And Rob?
Hi, I'm Rob Mann. I'm the historical archaeologist on the board, and I'm professor of anthropology at St. Cloud State University.
Thank you. Steve?
Hi, my name's Steve Olson. I am the illustrious member at large number 4, and I'm a practicing civil engineer.
Thanks. Chris?
Hi, I'm Chris Schulke. I'm the executive director of the Otter Tail County Historical Society. I am a public historian at large.
Thank you. Kate?
I'm Kate Solomonson. I teach architectural history in the School of Architecture at the University of Minnesota, and I am the other architectural historian.
Thank you. John?
Hi, I'm John Stark. I'm a historical architect on the board and a practicing architect in Minneapolis.
Thank you. And finally, Frank?
I'm Frank White. I'm a member at large, and I'm a historian.
Excellent. Thanks, everybody, very much. And now our third agenda item is the Deputy SHPO updates, and I'll hand it back over to Ginny.
Thanks, Kristen.
Yep.
So this evening, I'd like to let everybody know that we have set the State Review Board meetings for next year. We anticipate that all meetings will remain virtual and perhaps hybrid if we have the ability to offer that later in the year, but we can't guarantee anything at this point. Because we no longer have to contend with the state tax credit sunset, the proposed meeting dates are as follows: February 7th, May 16th, August 15th, and November 14th, 2023. So we look forward to seeing all of you there. We will have maybe most of you there. Half of you, I think, are going to need to go through the Secretary of State reapplication review. The State Historic Preservation Office staff, probably me, will be in touch shortly with those of you whose membership is who are sorry, I've lost the word, cycling off the board at the end of this year, and we will discuss the next steps for those members that remain and those members that need to reapply should you feel the need. I do have some good news to share. Both properties presented at our last meeting, the Frederick and Mariana Manfred House, as well as Amherst Tower, were both listed in the National Register of Historic Places. Also, I think we've mentioned before that Calvary Lutheran Church was listed in the National Register. That was from March's meeting, but also the Coliseum Building and Hall, both in Minneapolis, were listed. So wanted to give you positive updates on that. We have also sent in a additional documentation related to the Minnetonka Town Hall, and we're hoping to hear from the National Register staff about that shortly. I think that's all of my updates, unless anyone has questions.
Any questions for Ginny? Okay, thanks very much. We need to approve our minutes from the April 12th meeting, and I'm wondering if I can get a motion for approval.
You so moved.
Thank you. And a second?
Board Member Stark, second.
Okay, any questions, corrections, discussion, anything related to the April 12th minutes? Going once, going twice, anything? All right, I'll call the roll. Board Member Decker.
Aye.
Board Member Dyer.
Aye.
Board Member James.
Aye.
Board Member Koski.
Aye.
Board Member Lavasser.
Aye.
Board Member Mann.
Aye.
Board Member Olson.
Aye.
Board Member Schulke.
Aye.
Board Member Solomonson.
Aye.
Board Member Stark.
Aye.
Board Member White.
Aye.
And Board Member Anderson. Aye. Thanks for that. And now, according to the agenda, I will ask Ginny about the presentation of nominations. Are there any nominations to consider this evening, Ginny?
There are no nominations to consider this evening, Chair Anderson.
And so with that, we reach our final agenda item, which is adjourning. Can I have a motion to adjourn, please?
Board Member Schulte, so moved.
Thank you. A second?
Board Member White, so moved.
Very good. Thanks, everybody. We're finished for tonight. We'll see you in November.
Good to see you.
Thanks, y'all.
Good night.
Bye, guys.
Thanks.
Right.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.